Hello and welcome to the Business Spotlight interview series. I'm your host, Barrett McDonald. I'm joined today by Baylee Hood, partner and director of operations and training at Harvest Clean Eats. Baylee, thank you so much for joining me today. Would you like to kick things off a little bit about who you are and what got you started on your entrepreneurial journey?
Awesome. Thank you for having me, Barrett. My name's Bailey. As you mentioned, I'm Director of Operations and Training here at Harvest Clean Eats. We're a fast casual concept that started here actually in Bedford, Nova Scotia. We currently have 9 locations across Atlantic Canada, and we offer delicious power bowls, salads, smoothies, specialty coffee, wraps, and paninis, and kind of something for every day part. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and we are growing, expanding always. So it's very exciting times for us.
Absolutely. Sounds like there's a lot on the go. So when you think about all the things that are going and all the balls that you're juggling in the air, what are some of the strategies you learned to balance a personal life and the demands of running a growing business?
Yeah, definitely. This one is not an easy one. And I will admit that I personally do not have a great work-life balance. I'm still working on it. I think most people are always working towards that. But yeah, I think especially in the restaurant industry, it is always go, go, go. The to-do list never ends. Um, Once you finish your to-do list, it continues going on. So yeah, this is something I've definitely struggled with throughout my time at Harvest and just in my career in general. And something that has really helped me, I think, is prioritizing like at the beginning of the week, even if that's pulling a Saturday or a Sunday shift, just to get yourself prepared, blocking off times throughout the week and prioritizing like whatever's the most on demand task you need to get done that week, and then prioritizing and blocking off space for the rest of the week, and also setting aside time for yourself has helped me to balance my personal life and work life, but they definitely go into each other frequently. So, yes, the balance is a struggle.
There's been many conversations in a few of these interviews, and not once has everyone said, I have it figured out. They're all it's always about being
Yeah,
purposeful with your time, right? And you got to put it in the calendar
exactly.
where it needs to be to get it done. And that includes looking after
Yeah,
yourself. So makes
exactly.
total sense. So now that you're responsible for a bunch of people as an employer, what are your biggest learnings when it comes to being responsible as an employer for all of those fine folks at Harvest?
Yeah, there's honestly a lot of learnings, and I find like something that keeps this industry interesting is that you learn something new every day. So it's hard for me to narrow that down, but I think my biggest thing, first of all, is that respect is earned and not just given. So if you're coming in as a new manager or even a new business owner, like that respect, you need to show your team that you can get in there, get your hands dirty, lead by example, and then that's when you get the rest of your team's buy-in. I think we've really emphasized that since day one. I've always tried my very best to lead by example at Harvest and just show everybody like if I'm doing this, like I want you to do it as well. And that has earned a lot of trust and respect from our team. I think another thing too is the people, that hiring the right people is everything. And like you can find an amazing candidate that may not have the abilities at the time, but you can instill those skills. It's really like what somebody's drive, commitment, and motivation is that is going to make them a great employee in your workspace. So yeah, hiring the right people has been a really big learning for us, and that one bad apple can cost you more time and money, and the list goes on. So it's really about um, finding those good people that share a common vision and growing with them and giving them the skills and the opportunities for development that they need. So I guess leading into this too, something that we do at Harvest is we use like a skill versus will quadrant. So we'll kind of on a quarterly basis put our team members into this skill versus will. So whether people have high skill and low will, or vice versa. And that's kind of um, how we take action in their development. So if somebody has really high skill and really high will, we'll give them the opportunities to kind of do things on their own and learn from their own mistakes. Whereas if some people have lower skill but high will, we want to give them those opportunities for development. So yeah.
Fantastic. So when you think of you're in the process of building out a franchise model, what are the qualities you're looking for in future owners, and how do you plan on fostering that positive environment for them to continue to thrive in?
Yeah, I think that we are always just looking for people with commitment and drive. And really, I think we foster a positive work environment by leading by example, valuing transparency. Um, Another quality we look for would be our communication skills. So having the ability to clearly communicate how you're feeling, what you're thinking. Um, and yeah, I think definitely we're just looking for people that have that commitment, that drive, and the willingness to learn.
Fantastic. So, and that leading by example is a tremendous way to approach things, because you
Mhm.
leave out the gray when you're like, this is how it's done, and I'm showing you, and here's why. So it's a fun way to be. So what are some of the common misconceptions about the ownership side of the business that you've come across since you've partaken in this endeavor?
Yeah. Well, I think in starting a new business, growing a brand, like creating a brand, or even just any business in general, a lot of small business owners feel that they need to do everything themselves, and in the beginning, that is true 100%. People wear all different types of hats. They're the marketing team, they're also the operations team, and running all finance as well. And that's definitely needed in the beginning of a business. But when you get to a particular point, I think something for us now at Harvest, even for myself, I have tried to delegate, automate, or eliminate. So when a new opportunity arises, that's kind of at the forefront of what we do. So if we can delegate it to somebody that maybe this is a great opportunity for them to learn how to do this, or something like that, we can delegate that task. We can also automate it, which is really important for building a franchise system as well, creating those processes. There's so many things that I find like I've done it 10 times. It's like, why don't I just make a step by step? This is how you do it, and then others can also do it. And then thirdly, eliminating. So some things are not always worth your time, and that's like finding a balance of is it worth my time or is it not worth my time, and how do I move forward is has definitely been a learning here. So yeah.
Absolutely, and an ongoing thing for the next forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because everything's always evolving and it's not a straight line. So you
Yeah.
have to constantly
Yeah.
be reassessing and testing and measuring. So it's really hats off that you're already onto that path and approach, which is really good. So what do you attribute the growth to over at Harvest?
Yeah, I think since day one for us, it's really been people, the people that we surround ourselves with, the people that at every level of our system, whether they're in our stores working on a daily basis or even here at our head office. We are still a small team. We have 9 people on our head office team now, but it's always been the people that we've surrounded ourselves with. I've been really lucky to have like previous to this mentors in the restaurant space that have helped me to grow to and develop the skills that I'm bringing to my everyday now, but also have great leadership in our organization too. So I'm lucky to have Connor, our founder, as my boss and giving me the guidance and the opportunities to grow. And now I'm doing my best to pass that on to everyone else in our organization. So yeah, just having strong leadership and always developing that leadership too. Like you're not always going to be an expert in every area of leadership, and it's okay to accept that like someone else can come in, do that better, and be a leader for those people in your organization. So I think, yeah, it all comes down to people in the end. Yeah.
Absolutely. So when you think about your journey so far, if you had to start it all over again, what would you do differently the next time around?
Yeah, I think for me, I would be more open to change and like willing to pivot because especially in COVID times, go back 4 years ago and like you 100% have to be ready to pivot. Harvest, we pivoted, we started making meal kits during COVID because we were just finding any way that we could keep the ball rolling and keep that momentum because you never want to lose the momentum. So yeah, I would say just being open and willing to change. Um, and being able to recognize that, to always keep learning and connecting, growing your network and using that network to keep the ball rolling.
Absolutely. So my last kind of question, someone who's watching this series at home wanting to jump on their entrepreneurial journey, what's a solid piece of advice that you have for them?
I would say just keep going. Just keep, it's very easy to get unmotivated. We all 100% do. Like last week, I did. A month ago, like it's just, yeah, keep having the momentum. And I think passion is very important as well. If you're not passionate about what you're doing, then you're never gonna be successful. I think you need to really, as much as we have that work-life balance, you still need to, at the end of the day, be having that passion to grow your business, grow whatever that is, and just keep going.
Absolutely. Persistence pays off, right? And a lot of
Exactly.
people think that it has to be big swings, but sometimes just a single step is all the momentum you need to build that day.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing to have. So, Bailey, thank you so much for your time today. And everyone watching at home, I look forward to seeing you on our next episode.
Thank you.
Cheers.